Hi, my name is Milana Vayntrub, and I play Doreen Green, aka Squirrel Girl.
Excellent. Okay. So when I was watching this series, I just watched the first episode because I wanted to see the actual movie on the big screen.
Yeah.
Very important. But one thing I was struck with, and the main thing was Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
And how, you're just shaped, the Squirrel Girl is shaped so different from a normal, what you would think of an animated character. And I just really identified with her. And what do you think?
Me too.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Awesome. And what do you think that kind of gives to little girls?
Well, I think Squirrel Girl is actually shaped really normally.
Yes.
She's shaped like the average American girl. The problem that we've seen in a lot of TV and actors and in animation is that they have this impossible female standard. So I'm very proud to be a not size 2 person playing a curvy person, and I mean, honestly, what can you ask? What can you wish to young girls more than to accept themselves and to love themselves and to stop competing or stop comparing, and ultimately leading them to have more happiness? But really, it allows, when you stop obsessing about your body and you start having gratitude for it, you could focus on other things. Because most of the time, and this isn't true for all dudes, but a lot of dudes don't have to obsess about the way they look in the same way that women do. Because it's not their currency in the world. A lot of women find value or are valued based on the way that they look, right? And for men, it's often based on their merit or their experience or their athleticism or the amount of money they have or all of these other things, right? And the more we spend and invest in obsessing and changing and tweaking and comparing and hating ourselves, the less time we can invest in reading and exercising or creating or tech or science or math or art or whatever it is that speaks to you. Let's make that more of our focus, and I hope that we get to see more people of different shapes and colors and faiths and all of that represented on screen, because it really will just create a greater sense of self-love, and then hopefully that becomes a contagion.
Right. Hopefully we're not talking about this 5 years down the line or something.
I would love to. I mean, I love that we're talking about it now, because I'm here with my niece and she's 8 years old, and a lot of the conversations we're having now about consent, about a woman's role in the workplace, about a woman's role at home, about all of these things that have been brushed under the rug, specifically about a woman's safety, we've just taken as norm for a really long time. And I think the conversations we're having now make it so that we don't have to have those conversations when my niece grows up.
Yeah, definitely. I know growing up for me, I always felt I had bigger thighs. I was playing soccer, but I felt not as good as the other girls because of that. Did you have any kind of turning point for you when you realized oh, my body's actually good, and I can run a mile,
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that?
I've had that with so many different elements of my body. I've had shame about the size of my breasts when they appeared overnight in middle school, and I felt like I needed to hunch over and hide them, or wear certain things that cover them, because I didn't want the attention that comes with it or the shame that comes with it, because often sexuality in women is something that is pointed at as a negative, unless it comes from a place of they are objectified by somebody else, and then the person objectifying them has all the power. Right. So I was really trying to stay away from that. I mean, it's so much as my freckles.
Yeah.
I remember going to makeup counters when I must have been 6 or 8.
Oh, wow.
And asking for foundation to cover my makeup, and the woman behind the counter said, "I won't do it."
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm not going to help you. And now I love my freckles. Now girls are painting on freckles.
Yeah.
So I think the other thing to remember is the thoughts that you have about not feeling as good as you want, or the judgments that you have about yourself, sometimes it's important to ask yourself, like, whose thoughts are those? Because they're trends, right? Like right now, having thighs and a butt is something that people are adding onto their body. They are surgically adding thighs and butts to their body. And there was a time 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where people were adding breasts to their body. And now people are getting those things removed because they're no longer in fashion. And so the thoughts about like my body isn't right is like that's someone else's thought about why your body needs to be a certain way. And often it's a thought that's been put in our heads because somebody makes money off of it. Because if you don't like your body, then you are going to get a Slim Bar juice drink, you know? And then that's a huge industry of people trying to change their bodies.
Well, for Squirrel Girl, though.
Yeah, sorry, I went off on a rant.
Okay, that's
Please
okay.
feel free to edit that into a nice soundbite.
Now, Squirrel Girl, though, like, so I think a lot of my listeners are really excited about Squirrel Girl. And what do you think it is about her that makes her so relatable? Like, just little girls just gravitate toward her.
She's really positive, and she has this outlook that I think a lot of young girls and young boys have innately, which is like, we're gonna figure this out. We got this. We're gonna work together, and it's gonna be clean, safe sailing from here on out. And that's something that kids can really relate to and want to see. And she doesn't have a doom and gloom to her. So I think it's that optimism that really helps people connect with her.
Yeah. And have you seen your action figure?
I have. My niece has it somewhere
Oh my
around
gosh.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it because I have never seen it in person.
We'll show you.
But what did you think when you first saw it?
I loved it. I mean, it's it just kind of warms my heart. Is really all it is. It's like it's just nice to see that kids are gonna play with this toy that hopefully they can relate to. That's not an anamorphically impossible Barbie doll.
Absolutely.
Skywalking through Neverland.